the most impactful things you do are often the things you don't do. So, like distractions, indulging toxic people in your life, sticking in those bad relationships too far, picking those fights that you don't really need to pick. Aaron and I went through a lot of this stuff from a recent Mark Manson post, and I think you'll get something out of it. So let's see. You having a week, huh?
I'm having a week.
It's okay.
I'm having a week. Oh, and then people want to call me and ask me to refinance my house as we're speaking. Yeah, I'm having a week. But
yeah,
you know what? I told you, you did give me the option of, do you want to do a podcast or do therapy? And I said yes.
let's be real. Let's be realistic. That's the only reason I do this.
Exactly.
It's like my personal therapy.
I agreed. That's exactly what I meant. Like, yeah,
Just that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So we were going to talk about this one, but we changed some stuff a few weeks ago. And I don't know how this is going to go. I think we did a Mark Manson thing last time.
We have, as opposed to Marilyn Manson. Yes,
we should just read his book.
Or Mark Maron.
And I've never read his book.
Really?
I read the title.
Dear ChatGPT.
Well, he posts. He has a blog and he does an email newsletter, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I'm a fan.
I've read some of the things you've sent to me. I don't know. I mean, like, I hate social media, so I haven't followed.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Yeah, but that could lead into one of the things that I don't do.
So that's what this is about. The most impactful things you do are often the things you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an interesting way of thinking about doing things. Thinking about the things you don't do.
Yeah, it's also, what is it? It's probably very Zen as far as
it's a very Zen approach.
How do you cut in order to
how do you grow?
Yeah.
You don't add, you cut.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I struggle with that. Greg and I are always button heads on that with business.
Yeah.
He's very much wants to niche down and be very strategic and resourceful. Those are his words, legitimately, that he used today.
Yeah, I believe it.
About business. And I'm kind of like, go after as many as business. But that's probably why I haven't gotten anywhere in the past 20 years. I don't know.
No, and I'm experiencing that right now too, and I'm trying to see which side I'm on.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Well,
it's been a developing project for 20 years.
Yeah. Or 51.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had staff transitions that were good for, a particular person that used to work for me. Now that person is working with other people within our same company, and it helps that person grow, into a new role.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. Yeah. And then another person that works for me, that person is like, I'm trying to help that person grow into a new role as well. What that does is it leaves this big hole of things that are not being done. And the one thing that the reason why I'm late is that person and I were discussing these as we were outside. Or as I was outside. And, it came down to, we've had this transition, but the one thing that we didn't do, and the one thing that's been kind of forced upon us, I told you you're getting a little unfiltered because I never talk about these therapy things. Yeah. Is we didn't stop doing things that should have been stopped, or at least paused during this transition period. And that has hurt us and then also we've gotten more requests than we ever have in the past 2 years from other employees that work with us that are, like, they're trying to do their job and they're finally realizing, maybe we can actually work with marketing in order to, further our cause.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, between the not stopping things and the increase in things, this is what's happened to us.
A little extra work.
We just slap, and so sometimes, yes, taking things out of what you do, or at least pausing them in order to get better perspective. Like, we'll go through the things, obviously, but that forget Zen or not, like that is incredibly helpful in
Can be.
order to, I don't even think grow. It's, maybe find a different
To
direction.
not explode.
Yes, start there, not explode, find another direction
Yeah.
to actually,
Yeah.
then to grow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're
Word.
done.
Word.
Okay.
You feel better? Figured it all
A
out.
little bit.
So we're talking about the most impactful things
Yeah.
you do are often things you don't do. So the number one that he has is the distractions you don't indulge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the most impactful thing you could probably do is not be on social media all the time. I kind of beat that drum a lot, but everybody listens is probably tired of it. They're like, we get it, bro. We get it.
Unless you're on the Warrior Mindset YouTube channel,
yes,
which is technically social media, but not social media.
Yeah, the shorts are.
Right.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, do that, but not the other things.
Yeah, the other distractions like video games.
Yeah. Okay.
I sound like Joe Rogan. That did not mean to do that.
Oh,
he always poops on video games and stuff.
Well, because he had an addiction, and
Did he?
he had a video game addiction.
I'm very addictive.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
same. And so actually,
I don't even want to tell you how many hours I have in Helldivers.
I think last time I was here, you did tell me about it.
I'm not gonna.
And so, what was it? I've got a kid home that just came home last week.
Oh yeah.
And while she's here, for a month,
you got 2 kids out for summer.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I don't know what's going on in my house sometimes normally, but yes, like it
technically 3.
Yeah. Right. I'm the 4th kid.
Yeah.
I'm the 4th kid. My wife would tell you that. But while she was home, I mean, I don't watch TV much, neither does my wife.
Yeah.
If we do, it's usually on tablet or something like that. But we do have these wonderful TVs. And so while she's home, she was like, hey, like they wanted to watch, a CD or a DVD that we haven't watched. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
A DVD.
You can still watch DVDs?
Yeah. Well, on the Xbox One.
Oh yeah.
That we still have. So I had to get the Xbox One, plug it in, go get the controller from, our neighbor across the street that just happened to has one because my son took the other one.
Yeah.
So plugged it in and everything. And then I was like, oh, as I was doing everything to my Samsung TV, like I found out that Samsung has you could play Xbox from your TV without a console.
Yeah. It's pretty weird.
I was like,
it's pretty weird.
It's great. And I was like, don't fucking do it. Do not sign up for.
No, don't
and in the middle of this, I found out that I'm actually paying for this Microsoft subscription that nobody knows where it's going for.
Yeah.
And I was like, to my son, like, is this your account? No. Is this my account?
Whose is it?
Have we been paying for it for 10 years? And I just did not know. Probably. And then I was like, well, maybe if I just switch it and then sign in with it and then, go to, I mean, I think it's actually on my period 3 email. So I need that back.
Goodness.
I need that back, please.
That's
just for this one thing. Yes. And I looked at it and I was like, if I sign up for this right now with everything that's going on,
yeah, I'll never remember.
I'm either going to go down one path and it's just play video games and shut out the world, or well, anyway. So yeah,
distractions.
They are a distraction.
They make apps that will run across all your accounts and tell you which accounts you have that you don't know you have.
Yeah.
For this very reason.
Yes, exactly.
I did that. we had 3 Netflix accounts. I was like, what the hell?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 Disney Plus accounts. We're like, can we just pare this down to 1?
Dear sons of mine.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. I think I used Rocket Money for that in order to figure out.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah. But I would.
It can have a lot of impact by not doing shit like that.
Well, so one of the things that I've started using is an app called Endel. And
Endel.
Endel.
Okay.
And I'm not, an affiliate for them. But I use it because it was something I will go onto YouTube and use a lot of focus, videos or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
the 40
yeah,
483 megahertz, blah blah blah,
yeah,
whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but there are some that like I can. It's not even flow state. It's just concentrate
yeah,
on doing your
yeah,
work
yeah.
and do it for 25. Pareto, or is it whatever the
Oh,
Pomodoro?
Pomodoro,
Yeah, do it for 25 minutes. Take 5 minutes off. Like sometimes, but
Pompadour. I don't know. Yeah,
it's tomato
yeah.
in Italian. But so I use that and I use it for sleep, and
Okay,
I feel like it helps keep me asleep.
sure.
It gets me to sleep faster. And then I will use it, sometimes for meditation, sometimes for, like focusing. It has like 27 different, modes or whatever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like like as I use it for the week long thing, then I was like, fuck it. Yeah, I just bought a lifetime
Mm,
subscription because
yeah,
it
that'll make
was
me
like
use it forever.
now I
Yeah,
don't have to go to YouTube and get and it's AI,
yeah,
and so it changes slightly and everything. But anyway, that has helped me cut more things out on the distraction side,
yeah,
is
yeah,
what I
yeah.
was getting to,
Well,
because it's focus wall of
that's
music.
awesome because I think we don't realize we're talking about it in the positive, but then in the negative, but then back in the positive again.
Hmm. Fair.
But like we don't realize how much we take a distraction and turn it into a habit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like you don't realize how much like, well, the 30 minutes of YouTube I watch before I go to bed. Now you've done that for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's now a habit that you've
Yes.
created.
Yeah.
That's time you could be sleeping or doing something else or whatever. That maybe YouTube's not the most. I mean, we don't have to be like super effective 24 hours a day. And everything doesn't have to be like, so like engineered to be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can waste time. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like if you're trying not to,
If you're gonna waste time,
that's an area
watch
where
the Warrior Mindset
yeah, we've been
podcast
here
on
before.
YouTube.
But my point is like we don't realize how much engaging with those distractions just become a habit.
Yeah.
There was a while I was playing Helldivers a
Hmm.
little bit obsessively.
Yeah.
It was a while.
Oh wow.
And I would like between like leaving one job and like going by the house and getting food and doing another thing, I always had like 45 minutes.
Hmm.
And it got to the point where I was like, that became the reason
Yeah.
to kind of cross that
Yeah.
way. When I could have just like
I could do a 30-minute mission. It's
worked
fine.
a little bit longer and just gone straight to the other thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll, but take it a little bit further. So you built that habit.
Yeah.
Do you eat particular thing when you play video games?
No, I don't eat anything.
Okay.
That
Don't
would be
think
even worse.
Don't think today, Gene, but
Yeah.
think, 20 years ago, Gene.
That would be even worse.
When you played
Oh
video,
yeah. Oh
like mine were saltines and Coke,
mine was
Coca-Cola.
chocolate donuts and milk.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Stuff where you
yeah.
get
That's
400
right.
pounds.
Yeah. And so like, but your habit that you built of playing video games.
Listen, that was Warcraft.
And that
that
was
was
okay.
15, 20 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. Warcraft was pretty fucking awesome.
It was. They say it's getting back to the way it used to be now,
okay.
but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
That's the thing. And that was the whole Joe
I know
Rogan
enough
thing.
to.
He said that if I go back and
Yeah.
start playing this again, then I know that I
Yeah.
will be down there forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And he's. I just listened to something where he was talking about that, but he says he chooses other things like his other. I don't know if they're constructive, but he talks about like archery and jiu-jitsu or whatever. Those are a little better, I think, in terms of like being physical or engaging with the world that exists.
Yeah.
Because Warcraft is not real.
Right.
I mean, it is real.
Excuse me?
All right. Number two, the toxic people you don't engage.
Yeah.
This one's I've gotten really good at this one.
Yeah.
I just I could just cut you out.
Yeah. I think this is something that we've been talking about for years. Like,
Ugh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that is because sometimes your mind space is taken up by, like, when you cut somebody out. Let's just go there, because
Yeah.
I think everybody understands the concept of cutting toxic people out.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know what a toxic person is, then you probably are one. But let's say that, like, you've done that.
Yeah.
It's hard to build up to it. B, it's hard to do it. And I think what people don't really talk about, all the gurus, is what happens after you cut them out. There is a void in your life
Yeah.
from that,
Yeah.
good or bad. There's a void, and like, you're not instantly going to feel better after you cut somebody
You're
out.
right.
You may, like, I know somebody who's been dealing this for like 10 years, cut somebody out, and that person still has regrets to this day,
Mhm.
and still, like, come every time somebody mentions that person, the other person, the person that I know is like, like,
You're talking about me?
yes, why did you even bring that person up? You
Yeah.
know that it was,
Yeah.
not me, but
Oh, yeah.
I go out of my way not to bring it up,
Mhm.
because there is that thing there that it still stays with you forever.
It does 100%.
And
It can really impact your day.
yeah, yeah, and that's after you cut out somebody, so
And
it's not easy.
let's define being toxic too. It doesn't mean like an absolute terrible human being that
Mm-mm.
wants to do harm. It's like I'm thinking of a person right now that almost every single time I engage with them, it is just a 10-minute intro into like a pity party into their existence.
Yeah.
And it's just like 10 minutes too long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to engage with you anymore. And it's not that they're bad and I don't care. It's just like, it's like this every time we talk, and you are depressing as shit. And I don't want that in my day.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have that every time I see you. And I see this person like every day.
Yeah.
It's just like, holy crap. That's toxic too. That's toxic to you. It like drags you down.
Yeah.
And if you can't have a meaningful conversation about why that person's that way, you gotta not engage with it as much.
Agreed.
That's an easy one.
No,
But I think sometimes we enjoy engaging with toxic shit.
makes us feel better about ourselves.
I think it
sometimes.
does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Or you have the like, I'm gonna help them mentality or whatever, where you just feel better by maybe giving them some direction or something. But it never fucking helps.
No, and if
No one's gonna listen to you.
no, it's
when they're coming to you to be depressed.
It's arguing about religion, is arguing
Oh,
about
dude,
well, and
that's
I don't
super toxic.
I don't no, I don't mean that as an
Politics.
example of somebody. Politics and religion, when you argue about those things, you will never get through to somebody. When you tell somebody, oh, why are you so, why are you always like that?
Yeah,
that has the counter effect, just like you're arguing about the other two.
No one in the history of calming down has ever calmed down because someone said, hey, calm down.
Exactly. Hey,
that's usually, you tell me to calm down, it's the opposite. You're gonna get the opposite effect.
Yes.
I'm usually like, oh, really?
For some reason, I still try to do that sometimes with some people, and they look at me like, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, like the wife, you're like, listen, let's not fight.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I just fucked up.
Yeah, no,
that means
dumb,
fight.
Dumb.
Yeah.
The other,
I'm not dumb enough to tell my wife to calm down.
That is good.
Have you ever done that?
She would probably kill you.
She would kill me. Yeah. But have you ever told your wife calm down? Yeah. You're still here.
Yeah, I'm an idiot sometimes, is what I'm saying by that. Yes.
Yeah.
But toxic person could also be, and I'm looking at you right now, not you, Gene. I'm looking at you out there. This kind of goes to your example of the 10-minute, downward spiral. Is when I've stopped asking some people how they are.
Yeah.
And they kind of look at,
yeah,
because when I say, hey, how you doing? And
it's rhetorical, brother.
what is the number one bad answer that you think you get when you ask somebody how they're doing?
The number one bad answer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm tired.
Oh, that one.
Like, God damn it.
Oh,
I did not ask you if you were tired.
That's actually a pet peeve of mine.
Well,
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Mine too. It's because I try to block it out.
It's like, no shit, we're all tired.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So if you answer somebody with how are you doing, and I'm looking at you directly in the camera with, how are you doing? I'm tired.
Yeah.
You are putting your small, tiny bit of toxicity on somebody else.
Yeah, you are. But you're not actually removing it from you. You're just like,
no, you're sharing it, and it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
So now you've dumped that on me. Thanks.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I don't like the I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, then why are you even here?
Yeah.
Go back home, go to bed.
Yeah.
Come back when you're not tired.
Right.
Like there were people that we used to work with that would come to work on Monday, having spent like a super heavy weekend doing shit, Saturday and Sunday, and they're like getting home at like 2 a.m. on Sunday and coming into work on like 9 o'clock on Monday, exhausted, not able to do anything, and you're like, that's not cool.
No,
it's not cool because we need you here, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
But even if you're super exhausted, I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that you're tired.
You sound like Mr. Beast. People are gonna hate you.
Good. Fuck you. Hate me. I don't care.
This is the Everyone versus Aaron episode.
That is totally fine because sorry, I've had a shitty week. So fuck you. I'm good with this.
No, I don't disagree with you, man.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm not trying to share that with everybody, but like
I don't like it either. I don't like it when people are kind of complainy.
Yeah.
If you want to complain, let's go complain, but
that's fine. I've got my own problems.
Yeah.
I mean a lot right now. And I don't need that dump from you in order, to then the mental strain of, how do I handle that to help you?
Do I care?
But also,
or am
when
I
you
showing
say
that I don't care? Oh, now I'm overthinking it.
But then when you dump that on me and then you don't even come back with how are you?
Oh yeah.
Guess what? Yeah. I don't get to reciprocate.
This is not reciprocal.
Yeah, exactly.
It never is.
Right. So you're anyway.
Just don't engage.
No.
Just don't ask anyone how they're doing.
That is why my phone's on mute.
What do the Marines say? Be polite to everyone, but nice to no one.
I like that. I had never heard that.
No, I don't know if it's the Marines.
Okay.
It was one of the famous military dudes.
Okay.
Yeah, be polite to everyone, but nice to no one.
That is.
You could be polite, but not like giving of yourself.
Yeah.
Until it's deserved.
I don't have to give. Yeah, I don't have to give you everything because.
Yeah.
You're gonna take that.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear your crap.
That's totally how.
Yeah.
Yeah. How I try to live like 80% of my life.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get through.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, the opportunities you turn down. That's one that I'm kind of struggling with, like business wise.
Well, you just said that too.
Yeah.
Like you want to go and get all this business, but sometimes when you do that, you know, I can do the $1,000 website instead of the $15,000 or $50,000 one, and it'll just take me. No, it's going to take you just as long to do the $1,000 website as it would the $15,000 website. You know that.
And you're probably going to deal with more bullshit.
Yes, because that person is not going to know.
It's a lot cheaper,
right?
They are a lot cheaper.
Somebody who's paying you more to do more is also going to understand better.
Yeah.
On the business side of things,
I think so.
Yeah. And also having the, you having the upfrontness to go, every time you change this, it's going to cost you again type thing.
But you still have to go through that.
You do. But anyway, but yes.
I've found in business that it's odd, but the people that pay you more are less involved.
Yeah.
In terms of micromanaging you.
They think of you as an expert.
The people that don't pay you that much, they're like all in your shit constantly. Because I think to them it's a lot more money.
Yes, it is.
And often it's their money versus when someone's paying you more. It's usually not their money.
Right. Agreed.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. The first website I made was for $200.
Yeah.
And it was when HTML4 came out.
Oh.
That was the first thing I ever coded by hand. Yeah.
HTML4.
4. And it was a shitty golf. Like I remember cutting out the little golf balls by hand and everything. And putting it together. And actually it was a pretty good website for the time. And considering it was my very first one, I worked so hard for $200.
Yeah. $200 isn't much.
No,
I've done logos and stuff.
97
for $100.
Yeah. 97 was when I did it.
Yeah.
I just didn't, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And now my rates are a lot higher.
I hope so. I mean, if that's where your rates are, we need to talk.
Whole website. All you want.
A whole
$200.
A whole button on a page.
Right.
But turning down opportunities can be hard whenever you kind of in a scarcity mindset too,
True. And
You still got to watch your back, which I think is what you're alluding to.
You do, but I think I've told you before that one of the things that we've always taught our kids is that there are opportunities out there, and like whether it's been acting or dance or school or
Yeah.
job, whatever happens to be, like the one caveat that I think that I've had with all of that is like like we as parents try to set you up for having opportunities. That is our job.
That's what we do.
And then it's up to them to evaluate if that opportunity is right for them. And so, like, and I don't know if I've told you this, but I was telling somebody recently, like, who has younger kids, like the one thing that we've always done is said, it's not a formal contract, but we've said, like, if you're going to play oboe, I had one kid that played oboe. Whatever today's start date is, then you will finish that out throughout the school year or whatever happens to be.
Right. You're not just dropping it.
They wanted to stop halfway through because it got hard. And, it's like, I don't care if it gets hard or not. Like you said that you would do that. And so you will follow through with it.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah.
Even if it's half-hearted, you will follow through with it. Maybe you'll fall in love with it and you'll figure out something. But
that oboe costs $1,200.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to play that damn thing.
Yeah. But that's why I say that one caveat of maybe that opportunity isn't right for you. Like
for sure.
And then maybe you'll have FOMO over it later.
For sure.
But at least you have to take that time to evaluate it because of exactly this. Sometimes you say no to an opportunity and it could be the best thing that you ever did.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a little unrelated, but I do want to sidebar a bit. My oldest is going to go to, he's doing a study abroad thing. He's going to go to Spain.
Cool.
Next semester. And they just dropped, like literally Friday night before Memorial Day weekend at 11 o'clock. The university sent an email from the Spanish consulate, which was like, anybody coming here on a student visa needs these 5 new things. You could talk politics about why countries are hating each other all we want, but and then he had to like scramble to because nothing was open Monday. So I'm like, convenient time to do that, but he had to scramble, and it's due this Friday, so it's due like 4 it's due in 4 days. Which means he has to go get a doctor, he has to get inspected, and he has to get stuff filled out, and he has to get it.
He needs to stop watching YouTube after that. I just saw him.
Well, he's gotten it done. So but he had to scramble on Tuesday, so he had to call around. Because his old doctor, he doesn't go there anymore because he's older.
Right.
But he was on the phone a lot, and he was just like very annoyed to have to call people. He wanted to just email and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, hey, look, man, your ability to do quick research, call people on the phone, explain what you need, and get shit done is a superpower.
It is.
Like that is a superpower.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between being a leader and then being a button pusher somewhere. And that is super important that you're able to do that.
Yeah.
I think it kind of charged him up, but I was like, damn, I find myself, we're talking about distractions and toxic things and opportunities, but I find myself, I look back over time and think about opportunities I missed simply because I was too lazy.
Yeah.
I think lazy might be a good term. Or avoidant or whatever to just engage with something, and like, damn, that's a superpower to be able to just like do it.
Yeah.
And I think though, welcome to my TED Talk, but I do think you can go too far and be that annoying asshole that just like, whatever you're doing, you just call people constantly to get answers while you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
I think that's annoying too.
Yeah.
You ever work side by side with someone, you're like, hey, we got to figure this out. Like, I'll just call so-and-so. And you're like, bro, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
can
you
just like email them right now? Like just interrupt them. You know, it's kind of annoying, but
no,
you're still getting stuff done. So in the end, it's good for you. But that ability to just take care of stuff by communicating with people using your voice.
Yeah. And also the time pressure as well.
Yeah, to not feel it and just crumble.
There's the vacation, the week before vacation, is usually when so many people get so much
Yeah.
work done because, like, oh, there's an actual deadline.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
not.
you get a lot of shit done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at how much stuff I get done when I have like 3 hours.
Mhm.
I can do like 2 days worth of work in 3 hours.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell am I doing normally?
There is a law for
I'm
that.
doing number 1, indulging distractions.
Yep.
All right, number 4. I don't think it'll take us long on number 4, but
Okay.
the bad relationships you leave. Because this is a very big no-brainer.
Is it like toxic people? I mean,
I think there's a difference.
Okay.
I think engaging with toxic people is something that
Okay.
you can sort of
that can be a short-term thing.
yeah,
Relationship,
but bad
long-term thing.
relationships, like that person that you just got to get out of your organization, or maybe you're in a relationship
Mhm.
and it ain't working, and you know how you're like, I got to deal with this, and it's just like pressure.
Yeah.
I got to deal with this, and this is pressure, and you keep putting it off. But then the moment you deal with it, like literally 30 seconds after you deal with it, like life is just really great, and there's like a weight off of you.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I should have done that a year ago.
I know.
It's like the conversation you keep putting off, and you finally have it, and you're like, I feel great now.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel, but
I think that's a
feel much
super
better.
big thing. But
Yeah.
again, you can go too far and just be like super aggressive with everyone.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. That seems like,
Listen,
maybe it's because I'm 50 and I've been married for 30 years. But
you and I had to have that conversation back in like
we did
2015 or,
yeah, we did
whenever it
yeah.
was, and I had gotten to a point where like this wasn't right for me, and for you, I wasn't a right employee for what you needed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and so
at the time, yeah,
that was very hard for both of us. And and here we are, 10 years later
doing podcasts together.
exactly. Like this. So that work relationship was not going to survive,
Right.
but the friend relationship survives. It can still, you can have different relationships with other people.
I think so.
You can have different relationships with family members as well, that as you grow, like maybe you hated your brother when you were growing up, and it's a different relationship
kind of
now.
tight later on,
right? Yeah. And I hope for my kids that when they are older, that they have different relationships than than I've seen in my family and my wife's family. That are beneficial to both, or all of the siblings or whatever. And it's sometimes I think that you can have a bad relationship with somebody, but not have to. And if they're not toxic, if it's a bad situation, then you can come to a different relationship with them. And so to me now, reading this again, I would say that bad relationship does not necessarily equal toxic person or a person.
Yeah.
It's just, like the relationship where I have with you right now does not work.
Yeah.
This other relationship that I can have with you in this aspect can work.
Yeah, because you're talking about what can have impact on your quality of life, or impact on whatever the hell it is. But like,
exactly.
You want positive impact.
Exactly.
Last one, the fights you walk away from.
Physically and emotionally fights
have a lot of impact. Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're like an all-in type of person. You know what I mean? So everything's like a fight to the death, like everything in your life is a pursuit of perfection. You know what I mean? Like I know people like that, and they are very high maintenance. Yeah, and it's just like, man, everything doesn't have to be like a quest. You know what I mean? Like there are some things that we can just like, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's
my that is my stance on religion and politics. First of all,
it's
like I'm not going to fight you over those things. Like you're going to believe what you're going to believe. Do I agree with you? Probably not.
Yeah.
No matter what side you're on.
It's not my place to convince you of whatever.
Right.
Like, it's not a fight I'm going to want to take here.
And if I let that be something that like I have to take this stance in this stand right here, then it could come out actually worse for me.
It usually does.
And, because like I said earlier, like you're not going to change somebody's mind by arguing with them.
No.
And,
But you can change their mind by commenting on their Facebook post. I've seen that. No, I'm just
Really?
kidding. No, never.
Oh, wait. I almost
That
believed
was
you.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
I read some. I've deleted more comments than I think I've ever made, because I'll just be like, why am I like,
Yeah.
what is this? Is I've already wasted time. Don't post and then create the thing that makes you want to come back here.
Yeah.
It usually is enough to make me like not do it.
No. And you're right. That is a place online that it is I mean, if you turn it into a fight, and especially online,
I think the only reason people go on things to comment is to fight people.
Okay, can we get back to the one thing that that wonderful person on your YouTube channel that commented on?
You still remember that?
Oh yeah, I do. Guess what? Some people deserve a punch in the face. That doesn't mean that you have to do it, but they deserve it.
Yeah.
And and yes.
Yeah, I get way more negative comments than positive ones, but
everybody does on everything. I mean, that's everything out there. There's going to be
the last one I got like 2 days ago was like, why you make shit like this? I was like, I don't know.
Dear
I'm reconsidering
AI.
it now.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
But I don't engage. I just delete it.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Well, again, online, we said this before, and this is where this came from. Like, if there was a possible penalty of getting punched in the face for making you would never say that.
No.
Like, say that to me in person. I don't care how big or small you are. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like, say that to me in person. Yeah. Let's actually discuss that. Yeah. Right. But but you want to do that? That's cool. Yeah. Go ahead. I already told you how my week's going, so fuck you. I'm ready.
So we've got some negative reviews in the gym on Google from past ownership and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's just the way they did business. Yeah. And there's some like people bitching about contracts and stuff. And it was just a thing. They're super buried. I mean, I could give a shit.
Yeah.
But I also have a friend who has a business and they got 1 or 2 negative reviews from a while back. And they continually, even to this day, this is like from 6 years ago, will continually like discuss them with me when we're talking about business stuff.
Yeah.
And have tried to get them removed for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like, brother, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And honestly, I think like you need 1 or 2 negative reviews, so it doesn't all your positive reviews don't look fake.
You're not 5.0.
I mean, 5.0, I'm like, that's fake. But like 4.8, I'm like, okay.
Locally, there is a business called Schroeder's Towing.
Yeah,
this is probably the best example of that. So Schroeder's Towing. If you go and park, so if you break down on the side of the road, Schroeder's Towing. Well, you call them. Yeah, they will come pick you up.
Yep.
If you are drunk and cannot drive home, they've had ads that like, hey, call us.
Yeah.
We'll take you home and take your car home.
Yep.
I think that's great.
It's cool.
Not a service necessarily that for free or whatever, but it's smart.
Yeah.
They also have, parking lots that they basically police that, if you go and park in there and you aren't supposed to be in there, then you can go and be, towed from there as opposed to like a city or whatever. And I remember this, and I don't remember how it came out. I don't know if I was talking to somebody or just looking at the reviews for some reason, but I heard the story of they're like, we have so many negative reviews on our Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is, because it's people that like we went and towed their car because they did the wrong thing. Right. And the company that paid us, the company that paid us,
it's the city, dog.
It was not even the city, like whatever, apartment ownership or whatever.
Yeah.
They said this person is parked illegally.
You were illegally parked. It's not the tow truck's problem. Yeah.
So they get bad reviews from that, and I'm like, that floors me.
Yeah.
Of like funny. Your business model is basically like if you're using social media, then like how do you overcome something like that?
I don't know.
And then if you go and look at the reviews now, I bet the majority of them are overriding 5.0 reviews because they've worked on that with the people that they've actually helped, and even some of the people that they've had to tow, I think come back and go, not their fault, didn't screw me over, even though they could have, because I did the wrong thing. But anyway, I just think it's I don't know how I got here, but I think that it's it's interesting. Like, that's a fight. That's a fight that if I were shoulder to toe, and I'm like, well, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah, but you
but you can't, because like that's the business model.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Are you a bad human being? No, that's
it's like the rumor, I don't know if it's a rumor is the right word, but like the dentists have the highest rate of suicide of all the
I did not know that.
of professions. I don't know if it's true or not.
Brian, watch out for yourself.
But like it's sort of permeated pop culture, I think, for like a long time. But like the fact that no one likes to see you.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Like, it's the one thing no one wants to go do ever. Like that and colonoscopy probably. But like those two, I don't know if it's true, but it's the same thing. It's like, that's not a fight you're gonna win, brother.
Never.
Like, you just need to be a dentist.
Never. But you need to, like, take it as an opportunity to figure out a different way to address it.
If you're a tow truck, man, you're just gonna have to tow some cars. They might hate you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a quick one. But Mark Manson.
No, be careful.
Mark Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Not that guy.
Mark Maron. We need to do a Mark Maron post.
There's a bunch of Marks and Mansons out there. But yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.